All right. You are looking live. The sold out MetLife Stadium where today the 16-0 playoff bound New York Giants are taking on the 0-16 Washington Commanders. The Washington Commanders 0-16 because they suck. Welcome to the Anybody out there that's going to spend any time with me here this evening, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. If anybody spends any time watching the replay of this, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means the world to me. Thank you. I'm going to try to go about 30 minutes here tonight, shoot my mouth off for about 30 minutes. Anybody got anything to say, please feel free, fire away, throw in the chat box. I try to check on the chat box like every, 5 minutes or so, 5-10 minutes. So if anything gets put in there, I try to respond to it as soon as I see it. It's a plus instead of me just rattling on just for like 30 minutes straight. It's nice just to talk to somebody, another Giant fan out there. So please feel free, fire away. All right. Before I get started, if anybody wants to help support my channel, it would mean the absolute world to me. In the description box below, there's a top link. It takes you to my membership page. I got 3 different membership levels. The first one's called the Saquon. Second one's called the Lawrence Taylor. And the third membership level is called the Gridiron. Each one has their own little perks to them and everything like that. So if anybody wants to help support my channel, I thank you so much. If you are subscribed to my channel, once again, thank you. I can use all the support I can get, guys. Thank you. But if not, please go down below, okay? Hit the subscribe button and the bell icon. That way next time I go live or put a video out, you'll be notified, right? And it's free of charge. What do you got to lose, right? And then finally, in the description box below, there's 2 Facebook links, okay? The top one takes you to a Facebook group, okay? It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. It's a group, okay? Basically everything. My YouTube channel, my Facebook group, and my Facebook page. It's all called the same thing. And I say it that way a moron like me, I can remember. I don't got to... What's the group called? Is the page called something? What's the YouTube channel? It's all called the same thing. Right? So the group is called New York Giants, the Gridiron. What do we got? We have over 3,100 members in here. Okay. It's 7 days a week. Once I get done with this video here, I spend probably about the next 2 hours or so putting stuff in the page, putting stuff in the group. I'm going to go over the page in a minute. Whether it's a video, it's a post, a picture of something, anything, something making fun of the Cowboys or the Eagles. Those are some of my personal favorites. Okay. It goes in there. And not only do I put stuff in here, okay, but the members post stuff in here as well, too. So between me and the members, there's at least 10 different posts and pictures and videos all every day, 7 days a week. Okay. Going in there. And then the second Facebook link, okay, in my description, the description box below takes you to my Facebook page. Okay. It's once again, New York Giants or Gridiron, but it's a page. I'm the administrator. I'm the only one to post in there, but it's the same thing. It's 7 days a week. I try to get at least as much in the page as I do in the group every day. Okay. What do we got? We have over 1,100 people who like it. And we have over 4,600 people who are following. It's really doing good. The page is really taking off, and I don't commingle. So basically, whatever I put in the page, I don't put in the group for the most part. Every now and then there's something really juicy, like maybe I'm really picking on the Eagles and I see something really funny about the Eagles. They just suck so bad. I want to share it with everybody, all the Giant fans out there. So I'll put it in the page and the group, right? But for the most part, I keep the stuff separate, okay? So if you go to the, if you go to the page and you like it and you follow it and you go to the group and you become a member, between the two, you get a ton of New York Giants information every day. Every day. And like I say all the time, if you're not completely satisfied, right, you get your money back guarantee. All right, with all that stuff said and done and out of the way with, well, I mean, there really wasn't a ton of stuff going on per se, I guess. The mini camps wrapped up like yesterday. I think they had like little classroom sessions. I think that's what it said. I saw like today, and then everybody kind of, I guess, went their own way. Everybody, I think, is reconvened. I think they're coming back. I believe it's next weekend. I think so. Obviously, a lot of the guys came to mini camp. We're not going to be showing up next weekend because, you'd have to sign the guys to be able to come back. But, But there is we got another one bites and dust, which is cool. Another Jordan Riley, his contract is signed. So we got basically the bottom four, the cheaper four guys for the most part. I mean, Jalin Hyatt's contract is not going to be much more expensive than Eric Gray's. You know what I'm saying? So, Deonte Banks would be obviously the most expensive one. But I mean, for the most part, since when, you know what we did? I mean, last year, pick 5 and pick 7, that cost some, not only pick 5, pick 7, but all the picks that we had. Shane trading back to get more picks and all and everything. So, so last year's draft class was expensive. Okay. This one, not so much. Okay. Especially since we're picking 25. I forgot what it was. It was like $2.5 million, I think it was, per year for Deonte Banks. So, I mean, that's, and then you figure, Michael Schmitz, all the other guys is like $1 million on some, most of them are like a little under $1 million a year. So relatively cheap. At least we got 4 out of 7 assigned. We got 3 more to go. Dexter Lawrence's his new contract, should be hitting the books, or hopefully should be visible online. Hopefully, maybe tomorrow, Tuesday, to see exactly what we're dealing with there. But we should be saved hopefully about $6 million or so toward the cap, which should wind up giving the Giants plenty of money to sign the rest of their draft class. Okay. Then if we can ever get something done with Saquon, hopefully we'll save another 5 or so, give or take, whatever, and that will give us enough, a decent amount, it's like when you're going into the season, obviously you don't want to have $80 million going into the season. That's just totally crazy. But you don't want to have $2 million, right? If you got yourself 10 or 15, then like if something, if you see somebody there is maybe whining, wants to be traded or something like that, or whatever, or you can work something out and you can bring a nice little stud over, right? Because let's not forget, right, is that, if you bring over a stud who's just say $20 million a year. Now, and obviously I know it's a lot, but let's say we go halfway through the season, all right? He's getting paid weekly checks, right? So it's 18 weeks, okay? So if he's getting $20 million, or just say 18, let's make it simple for a moron like me. Let's keep things simple here, okay? He's making $18 million. Now, you're going to get some pretty damn good players out there for 18. I don't care about offensive linemen. I mean, you ain't going to get a running back for that. You'll get a nice wide receiver. You get a heck of a cornerback. You're going to get probably the best safety out there for 18. Defensive lineman for 18. An offensive line, a tight end. Holy crap! An inside linebacker, edge rusher. I mean, you're not going to get Aaron Donald, right? But I mean, you're going to get a good player for $18 million, like maybe DeAndre Hopkins. Oh, did I say that? My bad. But I mean, for $18 million, okay. But if they played half the season, say we're in week 9, okay, they getting weekly checks. So $18 million, 18 weeks they played. Say we're so and so is pissed off on team. Well, say the Baltimore Ravens. So and so, I don't even know who could be. He's pissed off there. Doesn't want to be there anymore. Halfway through the season, but he's getting a weekly $1 million check. Okay, so if we're 9 weeks through the season, they only owe him $9 million for the rest of the season. Well, if you got $15 million in cap space, well, hello now. Now maybe we can talk. Whether it's a trade or whatever it is, but say player X, right, is disgruntled with the Ravens. He wants, of course, he tweets, set me free or get me out of here. Of course, social media can be a great friend, can be a phenomenal friend. It can be also one of your worst allies. One of your worst enemies, right? But he wants to be traded, and you got $15 million in cap space. I mean, even if you only have 4 or 5, you can do stuff, I'm sure, to move money around. There's always ways, right? But if you have $15 million and it was going to cost you $9 million to get player X from the Ravens, maybe you might have to trade away your 4th round pick next year. Something like a Darren Waller, right? Right? You trade a 3rd or 4th round pick to get down. Wouldn't you do that halfway through the season? Sure, I would. But I mean, so if you only have, 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 going into the season, it makes it a little difficult to get player X if somebody's a little ticked off, So, I mean, the Giants, we're getting close. We're getting close. We closed the gap. I'm probably going to do a video maybe tomorrow or so on maybe the gap closing on the Cowboys and the Eagles and all that and everything. But, we're closing the gap. Are we neck and neck with them? No, I don't believe so. Can we beat them? Yeah, I think we might. We got a chance, But, we're getting close. Now, hey, if things fall our way or something like that, we might only be a couple players away, but that remains to be seen. But obviously having Jordan Riley signed is huge. We got 3 more guys to go. Okay, so we got 4 out of 7 signed. Gotta love it. Dave was kind of taking easy on the draft picks, right? I was asked. The draft picks did not partake in any of the handful of 7-on-7 reps. And he said they've been on the road quite a bit, had a lot of visits, which they have. I mean, they've gone through, my goodness. Well, I'm going to go over Bryce Ford-Wheaton in just a bit here. I think he had 2 visits. Okay. But you can imagine some of these upper guys, possibly having 30 visits. I got to go to the Giants tomorrow. Then I got to go to Chicago on Tuesday. Then I got to go to Detroit on Wednesday. I got to go to Rams on Thursday. I got to go to Seattle on Friday. Then on Monday, I got to come back to the Dolphins. And then I got to go to Jaguars. And I got to go to the Cow. Holy crap. That's a lot of traveling. So he said one of the main things is to come out here healthy. You got that right. Okay. I'll let them figure out how we do some things. We're going to where some things are. They'll have plenty of time to get some reps here over the next few weeks, which is true. Because you also figure, you got Deonte Banks. Yeah. Let's bubble wrap the guy. All right. For the weekend. Because what you're trying to do here, obviously, with the draft picks is, just whatever, teach him a little bit, right? Loosen him up, whatever, right? But, you're trying to find the diamond in the rough. Okay, you got 73 guys. Obviously, I think they've signed a few of the guys. The draft picks are all signed, are going to be signed, hopefully. But out of the 73, so you got maybe, I'm saying, just throwing a number out there. I don't know exactly, but you got 10 or maybe 12 or 13 or 14 under contract. Okay, so you got just say 60 guys out there who aren't signed. You're trying to find that, diamond in the rough. Right? The salsa king, right? You're trying to find him, a little Victor Cruz out there, right? Can you find somebody like that out there? It happens from time to time. Certainly doesn't mean they're going to find somebody, but there's no need to push the guys into it right now. It's only the beginning of May. They got a long way to go. As I said, certainly don't want to get injured, right? It said, Dable said you prepare in terms of selection of the player, but now that they're here and they're figuring out things that we do, Dable said, you only put so many things in with each player, kind of get their feet wet, So, but it's going to be plenty of time to get the draft picks, up to speed and get them plenty of action as time comes by. One thing he was asked about, which is kind of like Hyatt as a punt returner, right? He said 3rd round pick Jalen Hyatt, a wide receiver, did not do any kickoff or punt returning at Tennessee. Dable said Giants would absolutely consider Hyatt for the punt return role if he shows an aptitude for it. It's not the easiest thing to do, especially catch a ball kick the mile high and come down, right? You got to be able to catch it. Okay, it's a little different than catching a pass. Making the decision, right? The guys coming flying down, trying to rip your head off. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do. Obviously, there is some liability with it. We had Adoree Jackson get injured last year, but it's football. Remember we had Odell Beckham Jr. returning punts, right? I don't think he got injured. He had a susceptibility of getting injured, but it wasn't returning punts. He got injured when he was receiving the ball, right? It's football. It happens, right? Guys get injured. I mean, the Giants had Mark Collins, who they drafted in 1986. He was back returning kickoffs in 1986. He was their starting cornerback. Their starting cornerback is back there returning kicks. It happens, right? We had Odell Beckham Jr. returning punts. It happens. Funny thing that happened. Funny thing along the way. No, funny thing that happened. 1943. Going to hit you up with a little knowledge here. The 1943 NFL Championship game. Washington Redskins. I was at Chicago Wrigley Field against the Chicago Bears. One of the possessions, and the things like this happens. The Bears stopped the Redskins. The Redskins went back and punted. Who punted the ball? The Washington Redskins starting quarterback, Hall of Famer Sammy Baugh, punted the ball. Okay, who caught the ball for the Bears? The starting quarterback, Hall of Famer Sid Luckman, caught the ball. Now, once again, things like this happen. Sid Luckman caught the ball. Okay, their starting quarterback caught the ball. He's running down. Okay, I think he juked one guy or so, whatever. Now, this just goes to show you how phenomenal Sammy Baugh was. Sammy Baugh punted the ball, okay? And he's running down the field, okay? So I think Sid Luckman juked one, or the first guy or so was being blocked. So I think Sid Luckman kind of got around them. Well, then, after he got about 5 or 6 or 7 yards or whatever, who's right in front of him? Sammy Baugh, the guy who punted the ball, the Hall of Fame quarterback, okay, for the Redskins, who's gone down there to make the tackle. The quarterback for the Redskins is there to make the tackle on the quarterback for the Bears. Okay, Sid Luckman said it was just a split decision. I mean, there was nothing cheap about it. What I guess this is what he said anyway. It was like, do I either try to juke him out or do I just go straight ahead? He said it was a split decision. I kind of decided. I think it was to go straight ahead. He went straight ahead. I think Sammy Baugh, I guess, went down to make a tackle, whatever it was. I think maybe he hit him in his knee, hit him in Sammy's head, knocked Sammy out, and Sammy was out out pretty much the whole game. He woke up in the fourth quarter, and the game was the Bears wound up winning 41-21. But stuff like that happens. But I mean, we're talking 80 years ago. I get it. Football's changed. It's different. I get it. But 80 years ago, the starting Hall of Fame quarterback punted the ball to a starting Hall of Fame quarterback who caught the ball, who's the punt returner. Okay, so it happens. You can only bubble wrap the guys so much. It's football, right? Adoree Jackson could have got injured trying to make a tackle, right? But I like to say hi to. I mean, with his speed, that's a possibility. I mean, that's something you either want somebody who's got, like we used to have Phil McConkey back with the Giants, back in the then after Phil McConkey was there for a few years. But then we had Dave Meggett, right? So you went from both short guys, right? But in 86 around there was Phil McConkey. Just smart, tough, short guy. He was good catching the ball, and he would go north and south. He wasn't juking or nothing like that. He would grab the ball, which like Parcells wanted, catch the ball, okay, go north to south. Phil McConkey would pretty much, maybe a juke here or whatever, go north and south, pick up 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever you can get. Make sure you hold on to the ball. So we got it. Get some yards. Don't go sideways. Don't run back 30 yards to try to get, none of that stuff, right? Then after McConkey wasn't with the team anymore, then we had Dave Meggett. And Dave Meggett was unbelievable. But you either want somebody with some speed or somebody with just somebody who can just make sure very good with the ball and would get you some yards, right? So, but I mean, if we can get him, get some speed, I'm all for it, right? When was it? I mean. Man, when was the last time obviously we never had a Devin Hester or nothing like that. But I mean, I just remember when Meggett used to catch the ball back in the late 80s for the Giants. I mean, you were excited, right? I mean, when was the last time you were excited about having a Giant return a kickoff or a Giant return a punt, Next, it was the dead ball snap, which is something that John Michael Schmitz learned from his coach at Minnesota. The dead ball snap. right? New center Michael Schmitz used the newer dead ball shotgun snapping technique during his college career. He continued to use it during 2 days at rookie minicamp. Now, the thing is, will that continue during the regular, and not even the regular season? Will that continue? What's up, Terrence? Competitive roster building. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes, they are. But with that dead ball snap, will that continue? And they kind of say that's kind of like up to whatever is comfortable for Daniel. Now, the thing is, there's like really no, it's like a dead ball. Okay. It's coming back. There's no spin to it. Okay. But he has better control. Now, also, I mentioned Patty Traynor. She does Locked On Giants. She does a very good job. She dumbs things down for more, it keeps things simple, okay, when she talks about it. But she's been covering the Giants for like 30 years. She does Locked On Giants. She does a video. She does a podcast and a YouTube video Monday through Friday. Well, I try to listen up to her every day. Well, she talks because she's there. Right, she's there, and she said, one thing, because she's been screaming for a center for the longest time. Giants get a true center, and she said one thing. She said that over the weekend when she was watching the snap from Michael Schmitz, she said everyone was just like beautiful. There was no bad, nothing high, nothing dribbling on the ground, nothing to the right of the guy, nothing to the left of the guy. They were just boom, boom, right. They were right there, right. So with the shot, but also with the shot, it's. There's no spin. So it's kind of up to what Daniel Jones wants. It's kind of like a knuckleball in baseball. When you're throwing a knuckleball, you're grabbing, you're digging like your fingernails into the ball, right? So you got your hand here. Here's the ball. You're digging your fingernails into it. And when you throw it, right, you kind of like pushing it. You're pushing it like this. You're throwing it and you're pushing your fingers forward. Well, a good knuckleball has no spin on it. It just kind of flutters, right? And especially if you get a windy day or something, the ball could be like right in front of you. And you're ready to take a spin and take a swing at it, and within the last second, it could like dive down like a half an inch or so, and you're driving it into the ground or you're popping it up. It comes slow because it has such kind of movement on it or whatever. It's hard to get a real good shot at a knuckleball. But it doesn't have any spin. I guess the dead ball is kind of the same thing, right? So, but Michael Schmitz is very, very comfortable snapping it that way. The snaps come back very, very good. But once again, it's interesting to see. It's kind of up to Daniel what he wants. So it's going to be interesting to see as the season goes along. Or actually, not even this season. When Daniel gets there and he starts snapping the ball to him, let's see if if he keeps it that way, right? If he keeps with doing the dead ball snap. Let's see here. Let's see. Speaking of cap space, the Giants. Let's see here. The Giants are right around, with their cap space. After they signed Jordan Riley, they're right around, breaking even. So they once Dexter's cap savings kicks in, right, we'll have enough money to sign the rest of the team. Let's see, you got punt returner, Michael Schmidt, a dead snap. Another thing was, what we got here? They were asking about that Dable, about Jalen Hyatt's his route running, because the Tennessee, their offense, right? One of the things, they make really fun of it. It's not NFL. Right, some of the routes, but I mean, just the way the spacing is. Because in college, the hash marks are farther out, so the space, So if you got the ball is on this hash mark here, you got a ton of room over there. So they're the way they space everything and all. It's not really run that much in the NFL. So some of his, I guess, route tree running was a little bit limited, right? And that's why you see that one, that I guess a lot of people should have seen the viral video about the Cowboy, the douchebag Cowboys coach going up to Jalen Hyatt. You know what your skill set is. You're only good because you got speed, And Hyatt's like, I can run routes too. And he's like, I will see. Oh yeah, we will see. We will see. MFer. Oh yeah. and he ran out. He ran some routes, but I guess he only had so many routes that he ran. I guess at Tennessee, a lot. A lot of it was, just I'm going to snap the ball. You're going to run as fast as you can, and we're going to hit you in stride. You catch it, we score it. So a lot of it was just, whatever, the fly pattern to go, whatever you want to, to the flag, to the post, just deep stuff, right? He didn't have a lot of intricacy to his route running, right? So but Daboll's, he said he's not too worried about that. He said many thought that the offensive system at Tennessee hid his deficiencies, okay, which played out during the pre-draft exchange between Hyatt and the Dallas Cowboys wide receiver coach Robert Prince, okay? You can see that anywhere, right? But I like the way Hyatt didn't back down from him. He said, I can run routes too. Oh, yeah, we will see. I can run routes. Oh, yeah. So I like that. I really like confidence. That's one good thing to have, right? One good thing you got to have being a wide receiver, confidence. Hyatt's got that. Let's see. The Giants didn't share the same concerns and traded up in round 3 to get Hyatt. Now, hey, I'm going to go over the same thing here with Bryce Wheaton in a minute, right? You got the good Lord, right? Just coming down and just going, right? Bam! Right? There you go. Jalen Hyatt, right? You got the height, you got the weight, you got the speed. He's a little on thinner side, but but not Bryce Wheaton, who I'm going to go over in a minute here, right? You're giving that, you're giving those, the speed, right? The height, all, because the guy can't run a button hook or something, don't give up on talent. Okay, you got somebody blessed with that, and you see what he can do. Not that he's going to score 5 touchdowns every week like he did against Alabama, but you see what he can do, right? Don't give up on talent. Hopefully, hopefully, they keep their noses clean and all of that, and they don't get into trouble and all like that. But if they got him out there, and they're putting in the time, you put the effort in there. When you got that kind of talent, don't give up on it just because he can't run a button hook or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But so Daboll, thankfully, we worried about that. Hyatt said, I came from Tennessee's offense, which I had fun in, learned a lot of new things in that offense, and now coming into this offense, learning more new things. But at the end of the day, I'm a football player. I can play any offense, and I'm just glad I'm here, Hyatt said during rookie minicamp. People are always going to say things. I think that's what I learned the most. I'm here, and now I'm here with the Giants, and the draft process and everything else is out of the way. I'm here. My only focus is now getting better, learning my new teammates, learning the coaching staff here, learning the playbook. I'm just going to go out there. My opportunity presents itself, and that's my goal. That's what I want to do. So, it's good to see. Good to see we got him. I'm happy he's on our team because we traded up to get him. Cool. I love it. Absolutely love it. Now, talking about, somebody just, Lord coming down and striking out a football player. You got Bryce Ford-Wheaton, what was he? This is PFF here. Okay. So all the publications have a little different weight and stuff like that, but they got him 6'4", 220 pounds, 4.38 speed. All right. You just don't find that. They don't fall off trees. Okay. They don't fall off trees. Now, the one thing, which I like, I love that because there's articles out there and all and everything. I love, especially this one. I love reading this one because it takes a shot. Well, it doesn't take a shot at the Eagles, but it said after the 2023 draft concluded, Bryce Ford-Wheaton's phone blew up. Why? Well, because he wasn't drafted. You got somebody who's wide receiver, 6'4", 220 pounds, runs a 4.38 40. Holy crap. Nobody drafted him. Well, obviously there's a couple reasons why, but so, the thing is, if there's the good and the bad about, when you get to the 7th round, right? Do you want to be drafted? Yeah. Do you not want to be drafted? If you get to the 7th round, the 6th, 7th, I mean, do you not want to be drafted? Well, because if you get drafted, okay, you're on a team. They're going to offer you a contract, right? Okay. So you have a contract to sign. If you're not drafted, you're an undrafted free agent, and you can go wherever you want, but you don't have a contract. You got to work your way onto the team. Okay. Now that doesn't mean that these guys all are going to want to making it on the team, but at least they have the contract, right? They got money. They got some money. Okay. So that's the good thing about being drafted. Excuse me. If you're not drafted and you make it to the 7th round, if you're somebody like him, I mean, for the most part, I mean, if you're, you're going to get some phone calls, right? But if you're somebody like him, and he's talking, he's like, my phone blew up. You get to choose where you want to go. Right? You're like a free agent, right? You have no contract. You're a free agent. You can pick and choose where you want to go, right? Well, he chose the Giants, especially over the Eagles. I freaking love it because they're a pack of freaking losers. I love it. Absolutely love it. He received immediate calls from Seattle Seahawks Pete Carroll. Now, can you imagine Bryce Ford-Wheaton if he winds up making the team, right? I mean, he didn't get drafted for a reason, though, okay? But they got Njigba, they got Lockett, they got Metcalf. Could you imagine they got Bryce Ford-Wheaton, too? I mean, if he actually made the team and all, wow, man. I mean, you got Lockett and Njigba and Metcalf. I mean, wow. Whew. And Philadelphia Eagle head coach Nick Sirianni, who were trying to convince him to join the teams, but he told the Eagles, because they suck, I'm not joining your team. It was like recruiting, Ford-Wheaton said. It was like you had a sign right according to Ford-Wheaton, when the guys were on the phone with him, he said you had to sign right then. You get 30 seconds to choose where you're going. Ford-Wheaton chose neither the Seahawks nor the loser Eagles. Instead, he chose to sign with the New York Giants, largely because of the bond he built with head coach Brian Daboll during the pre-draft process. Okay, when you're a good human being, right? You know how to talk to people, right? You got the right mindset. You got. What I mean, Carroll's not an offensive wizard, an offensive genius, right? Nick Sirianni, he's just a total freaking absolute freaking douchebag. Why would you want to sign with a low-life douchebag, right? When you're talking to somebody like Daboll, who knows, right? He knows what he can do with Wheaton, right? Okay. He's the bond he built with head coach Brian Daboll during the pre-draft process, and because of his friendship with Giants wide receiver David Sills. Aha. Interesting. Let's see here. I talked to Daboll for a long time, Ford-Wheaton said, adding he had a top 30 visit with the Giants. My phone was blowing. This is cool. My phone was blowing up while I was on the phone with Brian Daboll. He's on the phone with Brian Daboll. The phone kept blowing up. I'm cool. I'm talking with the Giants. We got this. The Giants are the team, right? They're up and coming. They know what they got with me. Hell with everybody else. I was sending everybody else to voicemail because in my head, I was already like, this is where I want to go. Now, he said here, the Pittsburgh Steelers had also hosted Ford-Wheaton on a top 30 visit, which was his only other top 30 visit. But they didn't come calling after the draft. Interesting. Even if they had, the 23-year-old had already made up his mind. He wanted to be a Giant, and that dream came to fruition. The Giants signed Ford-Wheaton to an undrafted free agent contract worth $236,000 guaranteed, so basically guaranteed $250,000. Okay. It also includes a $20,000 signing bonus, which is on the high side for such a contract. Well, he's worth it. Get the frickin' dude in here. I already felt good about the Giants because I already met them, Ford-Wheaton said. I had already learned a couple installs with them and kind of got tested. The determining factor was I had David Sills, one of my old teammates, up there. He's done what I'm trying to do right now. Ford-Wheaton knows he faces an uphill battle for playing time as a rookie, and perhaps he could even earn more elsewhere. But Daboll's coaching style appealed to him. Sorry, I can't talk. There's an honesty and openness about Daboll that appeals to players, and Ford-Wheaton is no exception. He's just real honest up front, dude. He's just real blunt. The rookie said he's not going to sit here and lie in your face. I was asking him what he saw my role being, and he just straight up said my role is going to be whatever I make of it. I know that he doesn't care about where you get drafted or when. He cares more about what you're about to do and how you're going to produce. The best man is going to play. The proof is in the pudding. So Ford-Wheaton is a remarkable athletic specimen. You got that frickin' right. Holy crap. But his inconsistency is plagued him. It's one of the reasons why he went undrafted as opposed into the middle rounds. And it's why he'll start his professional career on the bottom rung. But playing for Daboll puts him in a position to carve a new path, and he will be in charge of how he plays it out. Now, his one of his big things, okay, is, oops, I dropped it again. I dropped the football, right? He also has a little that, and I can't, a little bit of that Evan Ingram kind of thing kind of going on here, okay? So now I believe it was I don't know what game of the season it was. It was against Pittsburgh. Pass went his way, went through his hands, tip back. Guy from Pittsburgh intercepted the ball, took it back to the house, and that wound up being one of the kind of deciding play in the game. So if you'll notice, let's see here. This past season, he had 6 drop passes, okay, which was 8.8%. Okay, so he has like a 9% drop rate. That can certainly be better. What the heck we had here? He had 6 interceptions thrown his way. Okay, one of them was against, let's see here. Let me move it back here. Yep, first game of the season, Pittsburgh. Yeah. So he had 1 interception thrown his way, Pittsburgh, right? I mean, he had 1 in the second week. He had 6 all season, okay? In his career at West Virginia, okay, he had 9 interceptions. I mean, basically, he had 6 this last season now, okay? Let's see, how many drop passes that he had? He had 18 in his career. His drop rate is 11.2% in his career, okay, at West Virginia, 11.2%. He didn't have the greatest catch. He doesn't have Joe Montana, Dan Marino, Tom Brady, whatever, throwing the ball to him. I get it. But his catch, he only caught 59% of his passes thrown his way. Okay. He had 105 balls thrown his way this year. Okay. He caught 62 of them. Like in the first game of the season against Pittsburgh, right? He had 16 targets. He caught 9 balls, 56% completion percentage, reception percentage, right? And one of them was an interception as well, though. So, 50, he did not in this past season, his senior season, he didn't even catch 60% of his balls, right? So as I said, I get it. He probably didn't, don't have maybe the greatest quarterback to you. I get that. It is what it is. But, interceptions being thrown his way, drop passes, inconsistency, right? Things you can work on. Now, is it, he's taking his eyes off the ball, he's not concentrating, whatever. Those are things you can certainly work on without question. Going from 4.77 in the 40 to a 4.2, that's not happening, right? If you're 5'8" and they want you to be 6'3", that's not happening. Certain things aren't happening, right? Certain things you can. One of the things Daboll said, it's up to you. What are you going to make of it? Are you got some inconsistencies with the drops. What are you going to up here? What are you going to do about it, right? Are you going to spend an hour on the jugs machine every day or whatever, right? Are you going to take some extra pass patterns from Daniel Jones after practice? Or it doesn't have to be Daniel Jones. Anybody. If you can find a GOAT out there who can throw the pass to you, you can do that, right? What are you going to do, right? Are you going to, sit and mull about it or whatever? Are you going to, you're going to take advantage of the situation? So, a lot of it's going to be up to them, right? Some of this stuff is correctable, right? It is correctable, right? So it's going to be up to him. But you know, I mean, it's like if Sterling Shepard and Wan'Dale Robinson maybe start the season on PUP, okay, maybe, but I'm saying, you know, I mean, Colin Johnson, right? You got Hodgins, right? You got Hyatt, you got Slayton, right? You know, Campbell, right? I mean, Crowder. I mean, you know, we got a bunch of wide receivers. So it won't be the easiest thing for him to get onto the field or to make the final 53 or whatever. But, you know, he's got 6'4", 220 pounds, 4.3840. Holy freaking crap. I mean, that's the, you know, as I said, I mean, I hope this on nobody. You know what I mean? I said, unless he gets in trouble with the law or something like that or whatever, you know what I mean? If he's putting in the time, you know, if he's doing the right things to, you know, you don't give up on him. You know, you don't, one of the things, you don't give up on talent. Okay. And if he's doing the right things, boy, I hope we can find, if we got to tuck the freaking dude under the carpet, nobody knows about whatever, right? If he's doing all he can do, okay, to make the team, 6'4", 220 pounds, 4.3840. I mean, could you imagine? Oh my God. You got like Slayton out there, right? You got Hyatt, Slayton, 4-man wide. Could you imagine Ford-Wheaton out there, Hyatt, Paris Campbell, fast, right? Slayton. Could you imagine? And you got Saquon in the backfield or something. I mean, could you? Oh my God. Yeah, you four just run. Oh my God. We got some speed, guys. We really, really got some speed. And the beauty of it, we don't have Jason Garrett, the clapper calling plays or thinking up plays. Right? We got, you know, Kafka and we got Dave. I'm not saying maybe they're the greatest geniuses of all time, but those guys are freaking good, really smart. Okay. And, you know, you're just giving them. Last year we had maybe Camaros / you know, Camaro, nice Camaro, maybe a Mustang, maybe a Corvette or something. We're starting to get some Ferraris in here. You know what I'm saying? We don't have a Tyreek Hill. We don't have an AJ Brown. We don't have a Jamar Chase. I get it. But, you know, some of the toys we're getting, right? What we got? Don't forget about, Waller. Yeah. You know, he's not a 4-3 guy, though. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I mean, you know, we're going to have some speed. We're going to have some weapons. We're going to have some, you know, right? But, you know, I mean, we're starting to get some nice Ferrari, you know, some nice toys out there to play with, right? And with Dable and Kafka thinking stuff up, you know, well, I mean, Daniel Jones don't throw more than 15 touchdown passes this year. One of two things: either something's really wrong, okay, or he's been hurt half the season or something. I mean, if you don't, you know, if we can get it, hopefully Zudu back or Bredesen starting at left guard. Evan Neal should be better. Andrew Thomas, I don't think we'll have to worry about him ever again. Michael Schmitz is the center. I'm sure he'll have some stuff to learn, okay. Glowinski, you know, okay. But, I mean, if we can get Saquon back, right, I said, I mean, the freaking guys we got to throw the ball to. I mean, I'm not saying it's the greatest collection of guys of all time, but, you know, we got some weapons. If we can't find Daniel Jones more than 15 touchdown passes, something's really wrong, right? Something's really, really wrong. So, but it should be a lot of fun. But I tell you, man, I'm pulling for the guy. It's just like, who's going to make the final 53? I mean, you know, and who's going to go on the practice squad? Who's going to cut one? I mean, as I said, let's not forget about Jeff Smith either. We brought him in. You know, special teams though. But you know, if we're going to put him on special teams, you know, he's got to be on the final 53. So I mean, so don't forget about him either. You know, so we got some tough decisions. But I mean, I hope we can find. You know, I hope he works his way into the starting, well, at least on the final 53, whatever, somewhere along the line, especially during the season. It'd be nice to see him out there because speed kills, and it's tough to cover speed. And I said, especially I said in my other video, especially you start rotating these freaking guys in there, especially toward the end of the game or something like that. Maybe the defense is kind of a little winded or something like that, and you put a fresh 4-3 guy out there, right? Oh yeah. Oh man, I can't wait. And then they got the schedule coming out. I think it's Thursday. Man, it's like Christmas around this time of season, right? It's like one gift after the other. Free agency, the draft, undrafted free agents. You got the schedule coming out. I love it. Well, guys, it's been 45 minutes. Terrence, thank you, buddy. Good talking to you, man. Well, anybody spent any time at all watching me, thank you. If anybody spends any time watching the replay of this, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, guys. I can use all the support I get. So thank you. And as always, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo! Oh, yeah.